not too bad. It probably looks a little bit worse than it is as Jamie Lowell draws the start tonight for Maryland. The junior out of Brentwood, New Hampshire. As we are just about ready to go tonight here in College Park, Delaware and Maryland. Final regular season home game between the Terps, but certainly the potential for some more home games later on this month and in November. So the Terps looking to start fast, similar to the way they did on Friday against Michigan State.
Yeah, I'd expect them to see that defensive intensity very high, trying to play press. There you see Luca Costabile getting involved early, getting a little handsy, but I'd expect them to press high, press forward, and look to get an early goal because Sasha Swarovski's one complaint for that Michigan State game will be that they did not score more than once. He wants to see the ball in the back of the net more often.
Maryland also on Friday did not give up a single shot on goal as this one rattles around near the box and cleared away. It was the first time Maryland hadn't given up a shot to their opponents since 2006 as the Terps get it back after a foul called. Griffin Dillon sends it in. This is Hunter George running down the right sideline. Hunter George into the box, trying to get some space. He's got Bulma. Shot is no good, but a save there by Vick. Adam Vick, the goalkeeper tonight for Delaware. Hunter George also is playing with 4 yellow cards tonight. As you see, he tries to get an early chance for the Terps. 1 yellow card tonight for Hunter George, and he would be ineligible to play in the Terps' regular season finale against Indiana on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a huge game. That game will probably determine the Big Ten regular season title. So Hunter George, Terps probably going to be a little bit careful with his minutes here. If they see him getting a little chippy, the game getting a little out of hand and a little wild, they'd probably take Hunter George out of it. Just a player you cannot risk not having on the pitch out in Bloomington.
There is a chance tonight that Maryland can clinch a share of the regular season Big Ten title. That is all dependent on the result between Michigan State and Ohio State. This game does not have any impact on the Big Ten race because it's a non-conference game. But if Michigan State and Ohio State tie, and only tie, Maryland would have clinched a share of the regular season Big Ten title. The current score of that game is 1-0 Ohio State, and it's at halftime. So we'll keep you updated on that as that one finishes up. Now here comes Delaware close to the box. This is a decent chance, but it's pushed to the left.
Yeah, just a little bit of indecisiveness there from Chris Rindove, who looked like he was trying to play it back to Lowell, but just ends up being a sloppy pass. It's good play, and it's the big man Thor Arlson in there, and Rindove tries to play it back to Lowell, and Lowell just wrong-footed, and it's going to roll behind for a dangerous Blue Hens corner, the first of the night for either team.
First corner of the night for Delaware. They're 89th of the season. The Blue Hens are getting outscored 28-18 overall this season. This is into the box, knocked away. Blue Hens are there. This is Barboila. This one well wide, and it'll be a goal kick for Jamie Lowell.
Yeah, Barboila just trying to recenter it early and just doesn't find any Blue Hens player to roll out for a goal kick for Jamie Lowell, who'll play it short.
There are a lot of international players on this Delaware team. As this is rolling down, Adam Vick has to come out a long way from the box and send it back down. And the Terps playing keep away now. This is Nick Richardson with it. Down sent for Rindove. Excuse me, that's Capetti. Stays in play. And it goes back to Vick.
And expect to see this all night from Steph Capetti. He's just an absolute competitor. Gives you 110% effort all the time. Usually comes off around the 15-minute mark for Herman Giammattei or Colin Griffith. Don't know about Giammatte's availability tonight, but Capetti's going to be active, and he'll give all for his team.
Offside flag was up there as Capetti broke late. So it'll go back to Delaware about 5 minutes in. This is a Delaware team that has had some rough years recently. 2-12-1 last year. They were 0-8 in conference play. 2020, obviously, the COVID-shortened season, as this is pretty close here.
Yeah, it looked like the near side fullback Might have kept Capetti on there. Don't know about that one. Looked a little tight. Don't have a straight down angle for you, but good work by our camera team trying to get us a good angle on that one.
So Vic sends this down, and there's Josh Bolma. And Josh Bolma tonight is one of 3 Ghanaians that are active tonight. Delaware has 2, as this one is going to be offside again. So 2 early offsides on Stephen Capetti. Delaware gets it again.
Yeah, and Delaware early on playing a very high line, almost an offsides trap on Capetti twice. It's pulled off twice, but this one looked a little closer than usual, as we see when Costabile actually plays this ball. Capetti is fully on sides. The Terps are very unlucky there to not have a very good chance going forward, and Capetti, rightfully so, very upset with that call.
This is near the box for Delaware. Potential chance. Good defending, though, and a big collision outside the box. There's no call as Delaware tries to get something going. This is on Yagri for the Blue Hens. And we're going to have a throw-in for Maryland over on the near side. Richardson looking for options. And we have another score update from the Ohio State-Michigan State game. It's now 2-0 Buckeyes. The second half just getting underway there. So it's looking like, as of right now, Maryland will have to wait until Sunday to clinch the Big Ten regular season title at Indiana.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that it's not in your control to win it. Rather be it not in your control to win it than not in your control to go out and get it. But Terps kind of knew that this game would be important in keeping their rhythm going towards that Bloomington game, or excuse me, that game in Bloomington against Indiana, because that game would most likely be for the outright Big Ten title.
Should be a ton of fun on Sunday. Delaware trying to get something going on offense. Malcolm Johnson there with a touch. Good to see him back in the lineup after he missed Friday's game against Michigan State. Flag is up. This will go to Maryland. Intercepted right away by Delaware. Terps trying to get it back. Leonard got a touch on it. This is sent way out of the way. Jamie Lowell comes out, and that was almost dangerous there, but Bolma ends up with it. He sends it across the field for Hunter George, but he can't get there. Looked like he might have been offside either way.
Yeah, it's the high line from Delaware again. Blue Hens coming in here with no fear of the game, not afraid to play against Maryland's pace. I mean, it's very dangerous to play that high line against Joshua Bolma. I assume Sasha Ostrovsky will ask Joshua Bolma to maybe play a little bit higher and kind of get on that back line, because if Joshua Bolma's on sides and he gets in behind, there is no catching that man.
Nice defending there from Delaware. Looked like Maryland could get something started, but the Blue Hens turn it away. And now Malcolm Johnson with it. Turned away. Griffin Dillon there for Maryland, and a whistle. And the ball belongs to Delaware, I believe.
I believe a foul called on Griffin Dillon. Just a little bit over-eager there as he's pressing the ball, and just fouls the Blue Hen player as he's trying to win the ball back. And that's all part of Griffin Dillon's game. He's a very aggressive player. He likes to get involved early, likes to get his body involved early and really get shoulder to shoulder with you and let you know he's there.
Bit of a mist still falling here on this Tuesday evening from College Park. Out of bounds here. Maryland will take possession. As the Terps really haven't had a whole lot going on offense so far in this one, but they'll have another throw-in. Terps are really working that far sideline. They'll have another throw-in, this one taken by Costabile, who tries to find Bolma and gets it there before sending it back to Richardson. Boy, a lot of back and forth going on early in this one, Josh.
Yeah, just the two teams look like they're still trying to feel each other out, try to get a sense of the game. I don't know if the Terps necessarily expected Delaware to come out with such a high line and play an offsides trap in the sense that they are.
So can you explain what a high line is for those who are unaware?
Yeah, so that means the defense is going to play up higher. Basically, halfway is the mark-off for offsides. If you're in your own half, you cannot be offsides. But the Blue Hens are playing a very high line, just basically inside of that halfway mark, trying to make sure that they can catch Maryland offsides instead of playing a deeper line, deeper in their own defensive half and trying to keep the game in front of them. They'd rather try and catch Maryland offsides and get possession back right away. It's a very risky tactic because if one player's timing is off, all it takes is that one player to leave one player offsides, and you're looking at a breakaway.
Certainly taking a big risk. Maryland currently ranked 8th in the country. New rankings this week. The Terps stayed put. Top 10 consists of Washington, Duke, Syracuse, Kentucky, Stanford, Marshall, Tulsa, Maryland, Portland, and Denver.
Yeah, and perhaps a little surprising that the Terps stay put. I know they got the win against Michigan State, but an upset loss against High Point on last Monday. Just a little surprised that the Terps probably stay put, but lots of other results in the country going their way. So
this one up in the air. Maybe a chance. Nice touch by Malcolm Johnson. Now Hunter George tries to find Bolma. He goes down, and that's a foul in a dangerous spot. The first real chance of the game goes to the Terrapins.
And just like I brought up a couple minutes ago, that's what happens when Joshua Bolma gets in behind your back line. Brilliant win from Malcolm Johnson in the air, and then a great flick from Hunter George, just perfectly playing Joshua Bolma in that seam. And the Terps will get a dangerous set piece out of this. Just a lovely touch from Hunter George and an easy call for the referee when that arm is outstretched. So good angle here for anybody. But I expect it to be one of the lefties taking this one, maybe Joe Zuhetzky or Hunter George, because it is on that side where a lefty can get it up and over, curling towards that near post.
So Malcolm Johnston and Bolma standing over the ball for Maryland.
See what I know?
Yeah. Nothing, actually. Just outside of the box. This is a really dangerous spot. Maryland with a good chance to strike first. Johnston and Bolma. Who's going to take it for the Terps? Johnston fires just high. Almost for Malcolm Johnston in his return.
Great strike from Johnson here. Had Adam Vick absolutely scrambling. Perfect distance, get it up and over that wall. Just can't get it quite down enough to get it on target, but a really good chance for the Terps early on.
Vic directing traffic as he gets ready to let this one go. As the crew always here, rowdy and proud, but not a lot of people here tonight in College Park.
Tell you what though, those members of the crew, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, rain, shine, sleet or snow, they're always out here.
This one out of bounds to Delaware. This would be a really big win for the Blue Hens if they're able to get it. It's been a tough season with their first year with a new head coach. Last few years have been tough as well. But if they're able to get this one on the road, this would do so much good for their program going forward.
Yeah, program-changing win, you would call it. Never easy in any sport dealing with a first-year head coach, but he's trying to implement his vision on this program. You can see that with this high line coming to this game with no fear, going after it a little bit, and would be a huge win for the Blue Hens program that has been struggling as of late.
Delaware this season just 1-4 on the road. So they have that against them too. This is into the box, it's a chance, it's a header, and it's in! Griffin Dillon gets Maryland on the board first. 14 minutes in, 1-0 Terps.
And it's funny because I was talking to Griffin Dillon after that game against Michigan State, and he was hoping that we'd be calling his name a little bit more. And here we are, 15 minutes in, barely 15 minutes in, and Griffin Dillon gets a goal. Just a beautiful ball from this near side from Hunter George, and it's one of those attacking runs from the midfield that's very hard to track if you're a defender because this run's coming from the midfield, so you expect your midfielders to be picking it up. But Dillon is right on that back line. Just a little glancing header because that's all he needs after the ball from Hunter George. And Griffin Dillon, cue the celebrations. The Terps are up 1-0. He's pointing at Hunter George. He knows what a delicious ball that was. And the Terps are up 1-0.
Griffin Dillon, the sophomore from Draper, Utah, had a big impact as a freshman. And now maybe another chance here for Maryland. This is dangerous. Two players go down. The ball is loose. There's no call. And we play on. So Griffin Dillon gets Maryland on the board. Delaware trying to respond here. 15 minutes in, Maryland leads 1-0. It's around the same time where they took the lead against Michigan State as well. We have a whistle, and this is going the other direction. Jamie Lowell in goal tonight. As Maryland looks to win it back, this is Leonard in the middle for Delaware. Some nice passing here by the Blue Hens. This is a decent chance. This is Barboila. He sends it into the box. It's a dangerous ball, but nobody home for the Blue Hens.
Yeah, it just looked like that one was played between the lines of the forwards and the midfielders. Just a really dangerous ball there that just asking, begging for anyone to get a touch on.
Dangerous area here for Maryland, looking to clear it out of there, and they will. But the Blue Hens are able to get it right back. Maybe another chance here for Maryland, but quickly turned back away. Now Bulma goes down hard, no whistle. Here comes Delaware. Too far of a pass. Costa Bile will let it go.
Dangerous turnover there from Joshua Bulma, dribbling just outside his 18. I don't think any coach in the country will want to see that. And here's that chance from the Blue Hens. Barboya with a brilliant ball in that just skips right in between the penalty spot and the 6. That's exactly what you're taught to do from a very young age, just no one there. And then here's a turnover, just a sequence of sloppy plays. Joshua Bulma, not the area to dribble in whatsoever, and a misplaced pass from Rodriguez. Unfortunate for the Blue Hens that they couldn't capitalize on that chance.
Now Maryland looking to add a second. Johnston got a touch on it there. Maryland now at midfield. They try to go across to Richardson. The pass is intercepted. Richardson wins it back, though. Nice job to win that back. Now he wants some help. And it's a great ball, and it is wide. It was deflected by Vick. It's a corner for Maryland.
Yeah, and a great run from Capetti, a great save by Vick, and Nick Richardson doing well picking up the ball here, and he's got a passing range that's absolutely unlimited. Plays a delicious ball into Steph Capetti, who just can't beat Vick. Vick with a great leg save. Wins the corner for the Terps, though.
Bulma to take it. It's in, and it's headed away. Hunter George gets a touch on it. 2 Blue Hens are there, and they win it back. Shamsuddin had it for a second, but the ball goes back to Jamie Lowell in goal. Nicholas Neumann started against Michigan State. It's Lowell tonight against Delaware.
And Sasha Swarovski's made it very clear ever since Jamie Lowell arrived in College Park. He believes he has 2 number 1s, so both players going to be split in time a little bit as the Terps come on an attack down this near side.
Malcolm Johnston keeps it in on the near sideline. Now a good pass to Bulma. Bulma with a good pass in front, but there's nobody there to put it home. Still loose near the box. Rodriguez trying to get a footing on it. He can't get it. Suhetsky there for Maryland. Now Johnston into the box. Good ball, but a tad high for Hunter George.
And there's that pressing and intensity from the Terps that we saw against Michigan State. They're just keeping it up here against the Blue Hens, not allowing them any room to breathe. Good physicality from Suhetsky to find Johnston, and Johnston just a little high for that little cutting run from Hunter George. Good idea, though.
And Hunter George lets him know, too. 1-0 Maryland. Final regular season home game at Ludwig Field this season. And Maryland has been awfully good here. 8 wins, 1 loss.
2 losses after Monday against High Point. There are only 2 losses on the season actually coming at home this year, but Ludwig Field is always a fortress and always will be as long as Sasha Swarovski's around.
And he doesn't seem like he's going anywhere anytime soon. This is Barboila. He finds an open man for Delaware. As the Blue Hens trying to get something, they're just kind of sending numbers. Rodriguez was there, but Lowell was able to snag it. As the Terps try to work in the defensive half. Griffin Dillon, the goal scorer tonight for Maryland. His 3rd of the season. Good touch by Richardson across the field, but a little bit too much on it. Vic able to clear. Richardson can't get a touch on this one, though. Last touch by Maryland.
That pass would have been absolutely ridiculous from Nick Richardson. A big cross-field ball, but Adam Vick sweeping up well back there. Yeah, that Nick Richardson just looking to play a curling ball in between that back line. Just not enough curl on it to get it to that far side, and Vic cleans up nicely.
Johnston with it for Maryland. Boy, he's just so calm out there. Malcolm Johnston, the veteran, been here for a long time. He just knows what he's doing out there.
Yeah, and wasn't available in that High Point game, and Terps were kind of missing his presence. He was exactly what you need in that game, just a sense of calm. The Terps looked a little bit hectic at times, and they just needed Johnston's presence, and you see him in there today, and Terps already playing much, much better.
Maryland not at full strength tonight. Drummond Matei is out. William Kolvik is out. Kolvik will return Sunday against Indiana. No word on Giammattei. This is a good ball, but oh, that's a bad mistake. As Delaware touched it, it went right out of bounds. It's a corner for Maryland.
Yeah, just that awkward height that you don't know whether to go at it with your foot or your head, and big mistake there from the Blue Hens, giving the Terps a chance on this corner kick.
Joshua Bolma will take the 2nd corner of the day for Maryland. As the Ghanaian raises his arm and gets ready to go. Into the box, headed away. But Nick Richardson gets there first. Tough pass for Johnston and out of bounds.
Yeah, it needs to just be a little bit crisper on this wet pitch. That ball is going to slide right across it very quickly. Looking to play more balls to feet instead of balls in behind, or giving guys balls that they can run onto.
Yeah, it's just a light mist here tonight. It's nothing too bad, but obviously the pitch will be affected a little bit by the weather. This one off of Capetti for a Delaware throw for Barboila. Maryland, again, beating Michigan State their last time out. That ended for them a 3-game winless streak. They tied with Northwestern and Wisconsin before coming home and losing to High Point. But they got back on the right track on Friday.
And you just felt if that Michigan State game had gone any other way, that season could have gotten off the rails a little bit, but really commanding 1-0 win. Again, only thing Sasha Swarovski will probably be complaining about is just the singular goal. He would have liked more.
Hunter George. That's a great ball down the sideline. It's a great run. Chance here. It's into the box. The shot is just wide. Whoa, that would have been something special from Griffin Dillon again. Or was it Costabile? It was Costabile.
I believe it was Costabile coming here on a huge bombing run from left back, and just gets the ball caught under his feet a little bit, and one of those shot crosses where you don't really know what it's going to do, but if it goes in, you're going to call it a shot, but if it's an assist, you're going to call it a great cross, and little unlucky there that doesn't sneak inside that far post.
A rocket off the foot of Costabile. Fourth shot of the night for Maryland. Here's Vic. Still up in the air. Capetti gets it. Tried to slip it in for Bolma. Nice defensive play from Delaware. Now they have it. This is a good pass. Here comes Donnellan, one of the best goal scorers in the country. First time we've said his name, but Maryland, great defending there on the freshman.
Chris Rendove using that veteran experience, just giving himself that extra yard or two. He knows that Donelan probably has him beat for pace, so gives him that extra yard or two, gives himself a nice head start and able to use his body nicely.
Dylan to Bulma. Bulma over on the far sideline. Bulma sends this one in. Capetti, oh my goodness! Stephen Capetti from Joshua Bulma. That was gorgeous.
Absolutely show-stopping from the Terps right there. It's Joshua Bulma out on that far left-hand side. This goal just oozes quality. It's Joshua Bulma on his quote-unquote weaker left foot who whips in an absolutely gorgeous ball right onto the head of Steph Capetti, and he makes no mistake about it. Rising highest, beating Vic at that far post. Just look at that ball, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. You won't see a better goal than that all week, and the Terps are up 2-0.
Stephen Capetti. What a goal. His 4th of the year. The Marist transfer, who was first team All-MAC in 2021, has made a big impact for Maryland this season. It's 2-0 Terps with 20 minutes to go in the first half.
And his father played at Maryland, 3-time All-ACC selection, making Papa proud with that one.
Score update from Ohio State, Michigan State. The Spartans are on the board. It's now 2-1. So we'll keep an eye on that in the final 25-ish minutes. But here, Maryland has jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first half. A dominating first 25 minutes of play for the Terps.
This is exactly what Sasha Swarovski will have won, and I don't think he'll have his team let off the brakes at all here. I think he wants to see more goals. He wants to get that confidence going a little bit. It's nothing against the Blue Hens. He just wants his team to score as many goals as possible.
Sub for Delaware, Liam Fuller into the game for the first time. He'll get Barboila. Whistle here, foul against Maryland. So after they only scored 1 on Friday, they give Sasho his wish. They have 2 in the first half, and the second one was as good as you'll see it. Over the ball is Fuller, the senior from Philly. As the Blue Hens look to get something going offensively, it's been all Terps so far tonight. Fuller sends this in. It's a decent ball, but it's headed away. That Maryland defense there again. Good pass here. Hunter George tried to make a nice move, but it was read well by Jack Leonard.
Yeah, everyone in the country knows Hunter George wants to get on that left foot, but last game against Michigan State kind of showed he can get to that right foot too, so good work there from the defense from the Blue Hens.
Here's Malcolm Johnston now for Maryland, trying to get a third in the first half. Tried to slip it in for Bulma, wasn't there. Blue Hens come up with it. Bad turnover there. Hunter George has it for Maryland. Now a chance, a shot just wide. Almost a third for Maryland. We're going to have a couple substitutions. Justin Harris will enter for Maryland. James Watson will enter for Delaware. Here's the shot.
Yeah, great strike from Capetti. Exactly what you want to do on a wet surface. Just bounce it right in front of the goalie. Have it skip a little bit so it makes him hard to deal with. As we're going to see Justin Harris enter the match for Hunter George. There's that little bit of carefulness we were talking about. Hunter George, 4 yellow cards on the season. If he gets a yellow card tonight, that would keep him out of the Indiana game on the weekend. Sasha Swarovski most likely going to be very careful with his minutes.
And already with a 2-0 lead, there's no reason to risk it right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine he stays out the rest of this half, probably plays about 15, 20 minutes in that second half. Just keep his legs under him, keep that football intensity in there, and then take him out again and make sure he doesn't miss that match.
Costa Bile looking for Bulma, can't get it there. Now Watson just entered the game for Delaware. Ball belongs to Maryland on the far sideline. This is a Maryland team that, again, last year it was not the way they wanted to end it. With a loss in the first round of the NCAA tournament at home to LIU Brooklyn. But it could be the Terps are finding their stride at the right time down the stretch. 2 goals in the first half tonight against Delaware.
Yeah, and the other big question has been who's going to step up in that number 9 position? Who's going to be that poacher, that striker? Who's going to get it done? As we see a little bit of a heavy ball from Justin Harris looking for Joshua Boma. But going back to my point, Steph Capetti has looked like that number 9 in these recent games. It's unfortunate for Armand Giammattei because he's been out injured, but Steph Capetti has really stepped into that role and been delivering for the Terps, and I'd expect him to keep that spot through the rest of the season.
Capetti out of Toronto, and boy, this Maryland program sure knows a thing or two about good players from Canada. 2 more substitutions, both for Delaware. Einar Harderson and Jordan Miller checking in. Petros Fokas will exit for Delaware. Get the other substitution. It's Adel Steinson who will check out for Delaware. Boy, a lot of international players on this Delaware roster. You got a couple Norwegians, some from Iceland, Germany. As this is close to the box for Delaware. Sent in, Lowell has a beat on it and makes the catch in midair. First touch for Jamie Lowell tonight.
Yeah, good goalkeeping from Lowell. Good command of his box there. Goes up high to get it.
Maryland trying to add a third in the first half if they can. That would make Sasha awfully happy. As we're going to have Colin Griffith come into the game for Maryland, the freshman. As Capetti will exit. He looks a little gimpy, holding his back as he jogs off, but he'll get a nice congratulations from Sasha Sarovsky on his 4th goal of the campaign.
And look, Ben, it sees I do know something. I brought up in the beginning of the broadcast about Capetti coming off around the 15-minute mark every game. Today, right on the money.
It's a rarity. Maryland wins a free kick here as Nick Richardson gets a touch. I promise that Josh and I are friends.
Yeah,
Most of the time. Josh Boma on the near sideline for Maryland. Gets it back. Sends it in. It's a dangerous ball. Boy, that almost developed very quickly.
Man, Joshua Boma with these deep services tonight. He's looking for Justin Harris all the way on the back post. And it's another delicious ball from Boma, who, if that doesn't touch the Blue Hens defender, Justin Harris has a clear look on goal, maybe on a full volley, maybe on a diving header, but be that as it may.
3rd corner of the night for Maryland, 3rd corner of the night for Joshua Boma. This one over on the right side, though. Uses the right foot, puts it in. It's a decent ball. It's on the ground, but it's cleared quickly. And back to get it is Richardson.
And you see the Blue Hens keeping all 10 players in the box, 10 outfield players, excuse me, all 11 players in the box. They're kind of make sure the Terps don't get anything off that set piece and make sure that they can go into this halftime keeping the score at 2-0.
Out of bounds on the near sideline. It'll be Maryland ball. You think they'll keep wearing these gold jerseys if they keep winning? As we have a player down here for Maryland. We'll get back to that in a minute. That's Boma who's down, holding his leg. Looks to be all right.
Yeah, it looks like he got a decent kick there from the Blue Hens defender on this near side. As we're going to see here's the replay. Throw-in comes right to him and just gets absolutely clattered into. That's an ugly tackle. Studs up. Doesn't look good at all, but good to see Boma back on his feet.
Johnston for Maryland. Now Boma. Nice touch here. Harris saves it. The Clarksville native tries to slip it back in, but it's not there. This one kind of a sloppy ball. Maryland wins it again. Now back to Lowell. So do you think these gold jerseys will stick around for Maryland if they win their 2nd in a row wearing them?
I think you stick around. It depends on how superstitious I bet the seniors and the coaching staff are, but I don't mind the yellow kit with the black shorts and the yellow socks.
It's a mixed bag. It depends on who you ask here about the gold. This is into the box. A chance for Delaware, turned away. Justin Harris with it for Maryland. Harris looking for some help. Tried to find Bolma on the other side of the field, but it's knocked away. That was Dillon there. Now Johnston back to Dillon. One of the goal scorers tonight. This is a good ball. Justin Harris, the flag stays down. It's a chance. And Justin Harris, the Maryland native, makes it 3-0.
And there's where that offsides trap can come back to haunt you. Flag stays down, and Justin Harris has no one within 15 yards of him, but he makes no mistakes about the finish. Cool, calm, and collected. Wrong foots Adam Vick and puts it far down. Just an absolutely brilliant timed play from the Terps. Looks like that's Griffin Dillon sitting deep, looking for Harris, who is clearly on sides when the ball is played. And just an absolutely majestic finish from Justin Harris there. Tracks the ball the whole way through, takes a touch to prepare himself, and thrashes it into the back of the net. Maryland up 3-0 and cruising here in the regular season finale at Ludwig Field.
Boy, that's got to feel really good for Justin Harris, the Clarksville native, the senior. Final regular season home game at Ludwig, and he buries one off the crossbar. Maryland's got a 3 spot in the first half, and we still have 10 minutes to go. And they'll get another throw-in over by the Delaware bench.
Smoke's going off in the corner with the crew. They're having a party tonight with all these goals.
You can't even see them. That's a lot of smoke.
Don't think the crew particularly cares as long as these Terps are winning like they are.
I don't think they do either. Lowell with it for Maryland. This one sent deep. Harris got pushed. No call. Or there was a call.
Just an easy one for the referee. Arms extended, going to call that 10 times out of 10.
On the far side come the Terps. Can they get a 4th in the first half? Boy, that would be awfully special if they're able to do that.
After the goal, Maryland substitution, entering the game number 8, Albie Andrenica, replacing number 14.
Albie Andrenica has checked in for Maryland, and Bolma exits. Remember, he was a little gimpy a few minutes ago, so probably just giving him some time to rest before the end of the first half. Now Delaware with it, as they're trying to get something going. This is Justin Ruth with it, but Maryland gets it right back.
Yeah, and even more so with Joshua Bolma with that match coming up on Sunday against Indiana. Sasha Swarovski, now that this game is 3-0 in the first half, will want to take absolutely no chances with it. I'd expect some of these guys like Andrenica, like Griffith, like Harris to get some extra minutes tonight to keep the legs fresh for Bloomington.
Colin Griffith went down and won a free kick for Maryland. Under 10 minutes to go now. 3-0 Maryland, and that's going to be another foul on Delaware.
Good work by Andrenica on that far side, getting turned, using his quick change of pace to get around the Blue Hens defender on that far side.
Andrenica is a freshman out of Olney. He played for Baltimore Armor before becoming a Terp.
And the last player is Don, the number 8 for the Maryland Terrapins, also a Baltimore Armor alum, also a Maryland native, went first overall in the MLS draft this past year, Ben Bender. So I would say some high expectations for Andrenica, to say the least, putting that shirt on.
Ben Bender had a terrific rookie season for Charlotte FC. As Maryland is in the defending half now. We'll see if we get some more substitutions for Maryland. Again, not a whole lot of drama so far. The Terps have come out and they've handled their business to this point. Delaware really has not had a response, and they don't have a shot on goal yet. They don't have a shot yet. I feel like we've already said that like a lot recently. This Maryland defense is just not giving anything.
Closing in on 135 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
Without a shot for their opponents. It is unreal defense. And if you remember the last time Maryland won a national championship, they held other teams scoreless on their way in the NCAA tournament to not allow a goal the entire run to a national championship. So maybe Sasha Swarovski tried to instill a little bit of that in there for the Terps. As you see, 7 shots for the Terps, none for the Blue Hens. Maybe Sasha Swarovski tried to instill that, be like, hey, you know the easiest way to win a game is by not letting the other team score.
Don't give up a goal. Don't give up a goal.
You can't lose the game if you don't give up a goal.
Seems like pretty self-explanatory advice. This one out to Delaware. Blue Hens have gotten a lot of players in the game in the first half, trying to find a combination that clicks, but there hasn't been anything there. Another throw in for Maryland. We're going to have a substitution for the Terps at the next whistle. Jamie Lowell for Maryland. Out of bounds. We're at about 7 minutes to go in the first half. And thought we were going to have a sub there as the Blue Hens reset. This is Fuller on the throw-in. Looking for some help. He finds Ruth. Ruth goes down. Miller gets a left foot on it. Goes all the way across the field. Delaware at the top, maybe a chance here. This is close to the box. Maryland there defending. Chance potentially. It's a decent chance for Delaware. It's still loose, and they can't put it home. Maryland able to clear. And the shotless streak still intact.
Just a little bit of hecticness there in the box, not really knowing where the ball is, and eventually cleared by the Terps, thankfully, for them.
Delaware at midfield now. This is Florian Flepsen, the German. Again, a lot of international flavor on this Delaware team. Justin Harris. Lost it. Now this is Harderson. Back to Watson. Now Fuller again. Blue Hens going a little bit slower here in the waning stages of the first half. Griffith right there for Harderson. Still has it, Harderson. Bad touch there, but a foul on Maryland.
Looks like that'll be on Andrenica. And now a good chance for the Blue Hens to slow this game down a little bit, look to get some quality service in the box and feed those big bodies in there, probably outsizing Maryland and a little bit on these set pieces.
It was Jordan Miller, sophomore out of Jericho, New York, who won that free kick for the Blue Hens. As we're under 5 to go in the first half. Ben Reitman, Josh Kaplan with you from Ludwig Field Tuesday evening in the regular season home finale. This is a shot, but it's wide. And Fuller almost instilled some life. This is Dalton Haas now coming on for the Terps.
Delaware substitution entering the game at number
He'll come
3,
get Griffin Dillon, one of the 3 Maryland goal scorers.
And substitution for the Terrapins.
Third of the year for him. He's got 3 assists. He has another one tonight. It's been one heck of a night for the sophomore out of Utah. Dangerous chance here, but it's slides by harmlessly, but Delaware keeps it. Play towards the box, headed away, still up for grabs. Lowell there to snag it.
You just wonder, is that going to end the shot streak
It
for the
might.
Terps?
It might.
But going back to Griffin Dillon, probably the best player in this first half for the Terrapins. Just his effort just all over everywhere, not being afraid to get his body involved and demand the ball off of his teammates. He's been really good.
Suhetsky now for Maryland. Some contact at midfield and a foul. We have not seen any cards yet which we saw plenty of on Friday night. There were 11 total given out by the referees, 7 to Michigan State, 4 to Maryland. One of them to William Colvick. The reason he's not playing because of accumulation. Richardson now feeds Bulma. Excuse me, not Bulma, that's Dalton Haas. As Delaware looks for maybe one more push before the end of the first half.
Yeah, it's good work from Haas and Richardson on this near side. And Richardson maybe getting a little greedy on that one, looking for the top shelf on a slight angle. Barely any room to get that into the net. Maybe better cutting that back across next time.
The crew letting Adam Vick hear it as he puts the ball down. Again, not a huge crowd tonight at Ludwig. A lot more people here usually on the weekends. Ohio State, Michigan State still 2-1. That game has under 10 minutes left. But if Michigan State can find an equalizer, Maryland will have at least a share of the Big Ten regular season championship, something they haven't done since 2016. Ruth for Delaware going down the side. That's off of Haas. It'll be a corner. Under 2 to go. We'll see if the Blue Hens can find a way to get something going. Their third corner of the evening. Into the box and in the air. Not the best set there for Delaware.
Yeah, kind of a wasted opportunity there from the Blue Hens. Corner kick barely beats the first man, easily cleared, and then a sloppy reset that sees the Terrapins win the ball with 60 seconds left here in this first half. There'll be absolutely no complaints from Sasha Swarovski about the performance from his team thus far.
Hey, you think 3 goals is enough in the first half for Sasha's liking?
I think he'll still say he wants more from the guys just to fire them up, but I think on the inside he's thrilled with the performance of this team so far.
Can the Terps pick up a fourth in the final 40 seconds of the half? They might have an opportunity here. This is sent for Johnston, who's played the entirety of the first half. Kind of surprising considering he's coming off of injury. But he's looked very good as usual. The Ontario native Malcolm Johnston fires it into the box. Can Maryland put something quickly together? It doesn't look like they will be able to, and that will end an exciting first half for the Maryland Terrapins. 3 goals in the first half. 1 by Stephen Competti, 1 by Griffin Dillon, and 1 by the Maryland native Justin Harris. That was an exciting first. As Colin Griffith and the Terps get ready to go. Again, 1 more regular season game as you see the miss there still coming down. 1 more regular season game that is at Indiana on Sunday, and Maryland cannot clinch a share of the regular season Big Ten title tonight as Ohio State defeated Michigan State 2-1, which means Maryland has to win on Sunday in order to claim the Big Ten regular season championship.
I suppose if you want to take anything nice out of it, it's that they go into Bloomington, and if they win the Big Ten title outright. Tonight would have clinched a share of the title. Now you go into that game against Indiana, it's in your hands. There is nothing about it that is simpler than that. You win, and you are the champions of the Big Ten regular season.
And for those wondering, this game does not have an impact on the Big Ten race because this is not a Big Ten game. If you're wondering why Maryland can't win it tonight with a win. Terps are looking for a 4th to start the second half.
Yeah, and it looks like the Terps will start similar to the way they finished that half. The only real change I see is it looks like Dalton Haas has come off and Justin Harris is on that far side, and Griffin Dillon has come back into the game.
We expect to see a fair amount of substitutions in the second half, especially if the score remains what it is. 3-0 as Costabile will have a throw-in for Sasho Sarovsky's Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly what he'll want. He'll want to get some of these guys some time. Always a nice mark when you can give some guys some time, hoping his team can keep the score like this, if not add on to it before these substitutions come into play. And probably looking to keep the ball a little bit more. Got a little bit hectic towards the end of that first half, and will want to get his team back under control. These slick pitches not really helping anybody out.
Yeah. It is a little wet out there as it's picked up here. Kento Abe is making his first appearance tonight. The junior from Japan is in for the Terps. Whistle here, and it'll go to Delaware. Savior Anyagri, first appearance tonight. He is one of 3 Ghanaians that are active. Anyagri is also a transfer from Wofford. As Sarovsky looks a little unhappy about something.
Yeah, just Luka Kostabile getting a little bit anxious here. Just comes through the back of the Blue Hen, and very unfortunate for him because this pressing has been very good, but sometimes you get a little over anxious and you foul, and that's what happens.
Liam Fuller over the ball for Delaware. Again, that's shots. We're going to be looking at that for as long as they hold it. Fuller, decent chance, headed away. Dillon trying to get there for Maryland. He can't. The ball stays in play. Kostabile tries to get a foot on it. It sails out of bounds, belonging to Delaware.
Decent touch there from Griffin Dillon when it came out of bounds. That one sailed into the night sky, and Griffin Dillon, decent touch. He's been all over it tonight, whether it's been on the pitch or just off of it.
Anyagri with a throw-in. Griffin Dillon takes it away. He had a goal and an assist in the first half for Maryland. Down near the corner there, and this is out of bounds. It's a corner.
Yeah, good amount of intensity from the Blue Hens here to start this second half. That's Justin Ruth being more active, just chasing this ball down. It's a decent ball in from Jordan Miller, and Ruth just putting some effort on it, as it looks like that's Kento Abe has come into the game for Maryland at right back with Nick Richardson subbing out.
This is a decent chance for Delaware. It's blown up at the goal. And now Terps come the other way, and Griffith went down. So Delaware almost was able to get it in.
Yeah, but that shows you how fast the Terps can transition from defense to offense. Ball comes out, one clearance, and it's into Colin Griffith's feet as this ball just sails over Jamie Lowell's head, caught in a little bit of no man's land. It looks like that was Suhetsky who cleared the ball out and finds Griffith as it was headed away, and Griffith is fouled and the Terps retain possession.
The shots are still at 0. Kostabile with a touch taken away by Delaware. Kostabile tried to get there. Now Miller. Good pass. Harderson held back. There's no whistle. Now there is. And this is going to be our first yellow card of the night. It goes to Malcolm Johnston.
Yeah, and he knew that, just not letting the Blue Hens attacker getting anywhere from that. Just an easy jersey tug, as it looks like that was Harderson who got away from Johnson, and Johnson just tugging him back, not letting him have any chance at that whatsoever, as we call that a tactical yellow card from Johnston there.
The first yellow of the night, the first discipline of the night. It's very refreshing from what we saw on Friday. Free kick for Delaware. Donnellan over it. Again, Sam Donnellan, 8 goals on the season. The freshman from Australia, that's tied for 20th in the country. Donnellan puts it in. It's a shot. It's loose in front. Lowell's there. Did that end the streak?
Yeah, good goalkeeping from Lowell. It looks like this was a shot, not a cross, and just bounces right in front of Lowell on this wet pitch, and Lowell well done to pick it up on the second grab.
Justin Harris with it. And there it is, the first shot of the night for Delaware. It's also a shot on goal. Maryland went 3 halves in a row without allowing a shot. The entire game against Michigan State on Friday and the first half tonight against Delaware. No shots, but Delaware has broken that spell with their first of the night. They have a throw-in on the far sideline right now. And they get it in, but Maryland gets the boot on and sends it right back out. Now it's loose. Nice play, Costabile. Using his body there. This is sent into the box, knocked away. It's loose for a second. Harderson had it. Now it's outside the box. This is a shot, and it's wide to the right.
Yeah, Justin Ruth on that far side. Been active in these first 8 minutes or so, and Sasha Swarovski will not be happy with the way his team has started this half. Obviously, you've made a couple changes in the flow of the game. Will be interrupted a little bit, but Terps really have not gotten anything going. It's been all Blue Hens this second half so far.
2 shots for Delaware so far in the second half. As Sasho makes some tactical adjustments. There's Adam Vick, who's given up 3 goals tonight, all in the first half. We're just underway in the second half. This one dribbled out of bounds by Suhetsky. Delaware takes it back. Might see some unfamiliar faces for both sides here in the second half if the score holds, but here comes Delaware. This is almost a chance. It's knocked away from the Terps. Now Dillon. Nice ball out in front. Looking for Griffith. He wins it. That was Indranika who won that, but Delaware takes it right back. Harderson. Now Miller. Aniagri. Brian Kelly with it from Laytonsville, Maryland. And he is the last to touch. It goes back to Maryland. Gotta be cool for Brian Kelly. Coming back, playing at Ludwig, the Laytonsville native.
Always that little bit of extra motivation when you come back to your hometown school, and home state school in this case. Just wanting to prove everybody in the area that you do belong on the pitch with these players who are playing at a great school like Maryland.
Here's a foul on Delaware. Terps have it in the defending half. That was Flepson who committed the foul. Maryland going slow and steady here in the first 10 minutes of the second half, already leading 3-0. Here's another chance, but it's out of bounds. Corner for Maryland.
Yeah, and the Blue Hens backline just underestimating the pace of Colin Griffith. He's been so active, always is when he comes on. And that's Aldsteinson, who's underestimating Griffith, and Adam Vick has to make a good save.
Maryland corner kick to be taken by number 20, Justin.
Justin Harris will take the corner as Johnston's running over for help if need be. But Harris sends it into the box. It's loose. Almost a fourth. Too heavy of a touch from Griffin Dillon. He almost had a second of the night.
Yeah, just catches that one just as it's bouncing up, and if he'd caught this on the full volley, you wonder if this was ending up in the back of the net, but bounces just before him, and as the commentators in the world say, high, wide, and not very handsome on that one.
Okay then. Goal kick for Vic. As the crew have made their way to the other end of the field here at Ludwig. As here comes Maryland. Aniagri takes it away. Nice touch here. Oh, that sounded like it hurt. It might have got a hand. And Sasho is really unhappy. And now he's getting an explanation as to what happened. Obviously, Sasho is known to be a little bit vocal, I think is the right term to use.
I think he's asking the referee, how can that be a handball if he had no idea about it and his hands were down by his side? New letter of the law, if your hands are down by your side, you're not making yourself any bigger than it cannot be a handball. We're going to see here. And Drenica, that's
close.
That's a close one, and that could have been a dangerous counterattack for the Terps.
Delaware has possession of it after the ball went out on the far sideline. The chance for Maryland to win the Big Ten comes Sunday in Bloomington. This game not relevant in that aspect, but the Terps have looked real good tonight. Onyagari, but a foul. It'll send it to Maryland. Free kick in the defending half.
Game's slowed down a little bit over these last 5 to 8 minutes since that early onslaught from the Blue Hens. That didn't see them get a goal, but saw them register their first shot of the night. The first shot Maryland has allowed in just over 140 minutes.
That's amazing. 140 minutes without a shot attempt. Just broken by Delaware to begin the second half.
I guess you could say it's been 140 plus minutes. Going through right now is dangerous. This one, Jamie Lowell cleans up, but 140 minutes plus now without allowing a shot from open play. The shot did come off of a free kick, which anything can really count as a shot on target. It was a decent chance. It was spilled by Lowell, but now it's over 140 minutes from open play without allowing a goal.
So here comes Delaware now trying to just get any offense they can going. The Maryland back four has been impressive again tonight. Lowell sends this one away.
And I think the most impressive thing about that Maryland back line is you've seamlessly slotted a freshman center back in there to cover for William Kovic, the younger brother.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about Brian St. Martin today.
Yeah, the younger brother of Brett, who just graduated last year, commanding center back for this Terrapins defense while he was here at Maryland. But almost a good thing you haven't really heard Brian St. Martin's name, which means he hasn't done anything wrong, which as a center back, that's all you're asked. You can't make a crucial mistake as a center back, and you got to clean up when you're called. And it's almost harder in a game like this when almost all of the ball has been in the attacking third, and you only have to defend in these moments, in these spurts, and that's hard to adapt to if you're not used to it. But Brian St. Martin playing well here with Chris Rindove in the center. St.
Martin has played all 58 plus minutes tonight, along with Costa Bile, Rindove, and Malcolm Johnston for the Terrapins. We do expect to see a number of new entrants here in the second half for Maryland. This ball stays in play for Onyagri. He falls down. Delaware trying to space it out. Harderson now. As the Blue Hens, they can't get anything going towards this side of the field. Even once they get close, Maryland's there to turn them away. They're close here. The flag stays down, but it's taken away. Over near the corner flag. We have a whistle, and is it a corner? I believe it's a foul.
Yeah,
Hard to make it out from here.
Brian St. Martin, just needless here. This ball's going to roll out for a throw-in, and there's really nothing you can do from a throw-in in that spot. And Brian St. Martin just barging through the back. A little bit of a lapse in concentration from the freshman there.
So a decent spot here for Delaware to get something into the box, to see if anybody can put it home. Here's the cross. It is wide to the right. It was close. And slapping the ground in frustration is Brian Kelly, as he couldn't get it to go in.
Yeah, Kelly does a good job of stooping low to this one, getting his head on it really unmarked by anybody in a yellow jersey. And if you're Kelly, you got to be thinking, I have to put that one on target because Jamie Lowell is rooted to the spot there.
So Kelly can't connect. Now Maryland with it. Under 30 to go. About 15 minutes going to the second half. Now here comes Delaware up the middle. And they turn it right back over. It's almost like any time Delaware gets anything going, the Terps are right there to turn it away.
Yeah, and it felt the same way against Michigan State.
It did.
Every time the Spartans would get some sort of forward movement, they were turned right away, either by the press or by a tackle.
Yeah. Griffin Dillon, arguably the man of the match tonight for the Terps, says we're going to get a free kick here to the Terps.
It looks like Costa Bile was caught late by Florian Flepson on this near side. Costa Bile asking for a card because it was very late.
Only one card tonight. That was a yellow to Malcolm Johnston. That's Chris Rindove. We'll let this one go. You talk about for Maryland, we've talked about it a lot tonight, the back four consisting of guys like Nick Richardson and Chris Rindove. The Terps are going to have some decent opportunities to fill spots next year, as we're going to have a whistle here. This will go against Delaware. Griffin Dillon now. Finish that thought in a minute. Costa Bile near the box. It's deflected and sent away. Capetti. And now back to Lowell. So you mentioned the back four for Maryland. There's a lot of veteran guys there, but guys that aren't necessarily going to be coming back next year. What are Maryland's plans defensively going ahead next year? As this is Colin Griffith. We'll get Josh's thoughts about that in a minute. They're not letting us talk here. Colin Griffith, attempt and turned away. Delaware trying to get some numbers forward before they begin their attack. And another turnover. So now, Josh, back four for Maryland next year before we get anything else.
Well, Chris Rindove, Nick Richardson will both be leaving the program. So the right side of your defense is leaving. Costa Bile should be back next year. You have your left back. William Kolvik will be back next year, although he misses out tonight with yellow card accumulation suspension. He has to be one of your center backs. And I think now that you're seeing Brett St. Martin, as we have a chance here, Justin Harris on this far side.
Here comes Harrison. Almost there for Maryland. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, and a foul on Andrenica there, but you're going to miss in that right side. Kolvik, Costa Bile, probably still going to be that left side of your defense. Very easy enough, and I think now that you're seeing Brett St. Martin have this chance tonight, as we're going to see the chance here, it's good work from Kento Abe on that far side, and I was just about to bring him up. He tries to cut the ball back to Andrenica, but Andrenica commits the foul. Kento Abe has played minutes last year, has not played as much this year just because of how good Nick Richardson is. I imagine Kento Abe will be that right back next year, and Brett St. Martin Brian St. Martin, because he's getting that start tonight, will be that second center back. But we have another center back freshman at the table right now for the Terps in Mac DeVries from the PA Classics Academy. He's another one to look out for.
You mention it, and it's really cool to see the Terps just kind of fill in and fill out these defenders, and they've done it for years now.
I mean, you could go back. Alex Cernali, Johannes Bergman, Brett St. Martin, Chris Rindove, and now William Kolvik. And now you have the freshman of Brian St. Martin, Mac DeVries. It's just great to see this defensive almost factory that Sasha Swarovski has turned out, just a soccer factory in general.
And you mentioned St. Martin. This could kind of be an audition for him heading into next year. We'll have to see.
Yeah, really played all over in high school and can play anywhere on the pitch, but Sasha Swarovski installing him where he installed his older brother, Brett.
Griffin Dillon with a touch for Maryland. This is into the box. It's a chance. It's a shot. It's off of a blue hen and out for a corner. And our first substitutions of the first half the second half will be made. And as you just mentioned, this is Mac DeVries coming in, but first, you see that shot by Andrenica. This is Mac DeVries, a freshman from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. His father played college at Penn State. He was an IMG top 200 prospect as well. And Isaac Ngofu checking in as well for Maryland, the Baltimore native. And he'll go get Chris Rindove. Griffin Dillon also out as well for Maryland. This is a chance for the Terps, but it's knocked away. Johnston over it. And now gets it back. The Terps will try and reset. Johnston tried to put it in. It's not there. This is a potential chance for Delaware if they can get there, but Malcolm Johnston says not today.
Yeah, and Johnston having to be really careful already on that yellow card. A bad giveaway in the center of the park.
Yeah, he's somebody you cannot lose for Sunday if you're Sasho Sarovsky.
And excuse our mistake, it looks like it's Luca Costa-Bile who's come off in Mac DeVries' place. So Terps a little bit of a shift in system, actually. Looks like they're employing a back three with Ngofu and looks like Kento Abe on that far side as the wingbacks.
We'll see how that goes on Yagri. Now for Delaware. As we approach 20 minutes to go in College Park, Maryland looking to wrap up the home slate with a win. Foul there. Or offsides. It was on Jordan Miller. It's been another just wildly successful season for the Terps. This is a program that is revered in college soccer as annually one of the best. And they have shown again this season why they are continuously just always in the mix, it seems. They had a couple of tough results this year at home to Denver. And then we talked about High Point on Monday, but several games this year have been so good for Maryland. Jacob Chacron has checked into the game for Maryland. He gets Suhetsky. Here's a chance for Maryland. Justin Harris, another chance. Can't quite get it. Chacron, a senior from Johns Creek, Georgia.
Close to the home of another famous Georgia resident in the booth tonight.
I wonder who that could be.
And here's the chance for Harris. Just good to get his shot away. Just loops over the bar for a corner. But Justin Harris has been finding those pockets very well tonight. Really getting his shots off lately. And we're seeing that flow of substitutions now for the Terps.
And Gofu into the box. A chance. It's still loose. And now it goes over the head of Adam Vick. You know, when you go to a school that's far away from where you live, you got to let everybody know. Support your homeboys. Sometimes everybody that comes from home.
Yeah, it's a good ball whipped in here from Ngofu, and it looks like it was Mac DeVries who stooped lowest, and then Chris Rendove tries to get a flick on, but loops it up and over the crossbar.
A lot of young guys getting an opportunity tonight for Maryland. This one is too far. Lowell's there. Chacron's a senior. Getting some action here tonight, obviously. Terps are resting a number of guys in the second half for Sunday's game against Indiana at 1 o'clock. It should be a fantastic game. Another substitution, Max Riley coming into the game. Former Bethesda SC. He will go get Colin Griffith, who had a nice outing tonight.
Yeah, Riley scored a goal earlier in the season as well, and a big physical presence up top. The freshman from Macclesfield went to Urbana High School and played for Bethesda SC, and, you know, foreign guy who's also a local guy.
Terps still looking for that fourth goal in the first one of the second half. But they have put on a clinic tonight. And look at the names that are out there for Maryland. Again, not the big names that you might expect to see down the stretch, but with the score the way it is and with the schedule setting up the way it is, Sasho Sarovsky giving some of his key guys a rest tonight. No William Kolvik regardless. He is suspended for tonight's game because of yellow card accumulation. He picked up his 5th of the season on Friday against Michigan State. No German Giamatti again for Maryland. We'll see if he's ready to go for Sunday. And if you don't recognize some of the names out there for Maryland, that is why. This is a header from ball from Johnston that was into the box. Out of bounds for a goal kick. Nice play there from Barboila to let that one go. Another substitution for Maryland. This is the freshman Matthias De Jesus. He'll go get Johnston for his first substitution of the day. And Johnston probably done for the night. DeJesus, a freshman from Towson, and also played for Baltimore Celtic.
Yeah, Baltimore Celtic, just an absolute pipeline to this Maryland program. Send 3 or 4 kids there to this school every year, and now it's a completely changed Maryland 11 outside of Chris Rindove, still commanding that back line for the Terps.
Brian St. Martin had it for a second there.
Also number 2, Jack Leonard, replacing number 19.
Jack Leonard back into the game for Delaware. He'll go get Flepson. Sam Donnellan also out as well, the fantastic goal scorer who we really haven't had much of an opportunity to talk about. So impressive what he's done as a freshman. Coming in from Australia, has 8 goals on the season. Been absolutely incredible, but none tonight against the stout Maryland defense. This one out of bounds.
And here's that replay, a decent chance for the Blue Hens, just scurries wide, but that's another shot for the Blue Hens, something we haven't seen a lot of from them tonight.
There are 5 freshmen that are currently on the field for Maryland. That's awfully cool to see as we get under 20 minutes to go tonight.
Yeah, not something you see often in late October in Big Ten soccer, but Sasha Strowski having to fill his schedule with this Delaware game, loading up the front end with Big Ten games, which is not necessarily his decision, but throwing this game in the schedule so his team can play that consistent schedule, the Tuesday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Sunday lineup. So gets an opportunity to give some young guys some time out at Ludwig Field tonight.
Alonso Rodriguez, 5th year from Salamanca, Spain, will check in at the next available moment. 2 shots tonight for Delaware. They've doubled Michigan State in that department. Here's a chance. This is Isaac Ngofu running down the left sideline, but he was offsides.
Late flag there from the referee. Don't know how we can call that one that late. There's no form of VAR really here, and Ngofu clearly offsides. I'd rather see the referee raise his flag right there and then and call him offsides then.
Tough break there for Ngofu, the senior. And the 3rd time tonight Maryland's been offsides, just once for Delaware. And a free kick for the Blue Hens. Mentioned the Blue Hens will wrap up their conference schedule and their regular season schedule on the 29th, this coming Saturday at home against the Northeastern Huskies.
No nonsense from Mac DeVries there, just putting his foot through the ball, not really caring who that hits.
DeVries, again, a freshman, has not seen a lot of action, but getting some quality minutes in tonight. DeJesus, good touch there, but it goes right to a Blue Hen, and now here comes Delaware sprinting down the field, potential chance. As they play it back, tries to go safe. It's into the box. It hit somebody's head. It's going to be a corner kick, or it's going to be a throw. I think it went out on the sideline rather than the end line. DeVries was the last to touch.
Yeah, just a crucial touch from Mac DeVries here. If he doesn't get this little flick on, it would have been a really, really good chance. So crucial touch from the freshman here. Great defensive effort.
Set up well there. Rodriguez in for Brian Kelly. As this is in front and knocked away. Some more substitutions, just maybe we'll get those to you in just a second. Harderson is out for Delaware. Focas is out for Delaware. And Sun-Yun Kim will check in for the Terps, the senior forward from Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah, guys like to call him Kimmy. Always talked about as one of the nicest guys they've ever met. The former JUCO National Player of the Year. Obviously has that quality, and just to be a part of this team, have to have that quality, and not too shabby bringing in the JUCO Player of the Year 2 years ago.
Not at all. Not a lot of action for Kim as well this season. Not a lot of action for a lot of guys out there. So good to see some, guys that normally wouldn't get minutes usually getting a chance to play. Tonight, no goals in the second half. It's 3-0 Maryland. They got all 3 in the first half. One by Stephen Capetti, one by Justin Harris, one by Griffin Dillon. We have a whistle here. This is going to go against Maryland, or Delaware, excuse me.
And it looks like it's the Blue Hens player who's feeling the worst of it. Came in late on that challenge with Chakroon, and can't exactly tell who that is on the far side. But good to see him get back up.
I don't think we've had a stoppage tonight.
I don't think we have either.
Wow. All right.
Other than maybe when Malcolm Johnston got his yellow card. The yellow card's an automatic stoppage. So maybe we didn't realize it because we don't really think, because we automatically think yellow card, stoppage, there we go. But no referee-induced stoppages.
No complaints here. 13 minutes to go. Staying in College Park, Maryland is on their way to their 9th win of the season and finishing the home slate with 9 wins and 2 losses. Potential chance for Delaware. To the right of in the box, and a chance, a shot, and Jamie Lowell is there to scoop it.
Yeah, good work on this near side. Little step over onto the left foot and shoots it through traffic, but takes the deflection that really takes all the sting out of it, and an easy gather for Lowell.
In the midfield now. Delaware's looked a little bit better in the second half. They've gotten a couple chances. They might have another one here, but not for long, as that closed pretty quickly. I believe that was Rindove there who said no thanks.
And it just shows you something when he's the one staying on the field and the entire 11 is changed outside him and the goalkeeper, Chris Rindove, the former walk-on. There's a great story on that on All Access from the Maryland soccer team. You can watch that, I believe, on the Maryland soccer social medias, but Chris Rindove came in as a walk-on and just has grown into a crucial piece of this Maryland program.
This ball up in the air, a chance for Delaware. It's wide to the right.
A decent chance for the Blue Hens. This is great service from that near side, and a diving header attempt and another header attempt that goes wide, but Blue Hens looking to get a goal. Would probably be a consolation at this point, but looking to get a goal on the board.
Ngofu with a touch. Sent back in for Vic. And he rolls it as we're about 10 minutes away from the end of this one. It was a dominant first half for Maryland. They've rode that into the second half tonight. The final non-conference game, the final home regular season game, but in all likelihood, there will be at least one more this season at Ludwig for either the Big Ten tournament or the NCAA tournament. The Terps will have a long road in front of them if they want to get their 5th national championship in program history, as Delaware has a chance. Into the box, a shot just to the right. Decent chance there for Maryland. That was Rodriguez.
Yeah, a little half volley here, just bounces up for him. This is a decent ball from Giordano, and Rodriguez gets over it nicely. Good technique, just thankfully going wide of the target.
Well, it's 3-0. It's Tuesday night. There are classes tomorrow. There are tests tomorrow. And the crew is still loud.
Going side to side now, some to our right, some to our left, screaming at each other.
Chance for Maryland. Vic is there. Yeah, they just never stop, do they? They never stop.
As the slogan goes, we are the crew, and we're going to be all over you for 90 minutes. And
boy, I can't wait to see the crew for the upcoming tournament games that could be in College Park. This one's sent away.
Yeah, Terps in all likelihood going to be a top 4 seed unless something drastically goes wrong on the last day. So at least one game here at Ludwig Field, which you know will be absolutely electric.
Remember in the Big Ten tournament last year, the Terps fell early. Very unexpected. They lost to Northwestern on PKs. It was shocking, and I think it lingered over a little bit in Maryland's first tournament game. It was scoreless through the first 85 minutes, and then LIU Brooklyn broke the ice late, and that was it.
And I think that'll be motivating some of these veteran players, as we're going to see Dalton Haas return to the game, played about 4 minutes in that first half, coming on for Justin Harris, who scored a goal tonight, has been excellent all over the field. But I think some of these older players in this Maryland team will have kept those 2 losses to them, and they'll be using that as motivation to keep this season going.
And motivating, there are several guys on this team who were on that national championship team in 2018, and they want to finish their career that way. They probably didn't get a ton of opportunities to play that season because they were freshmen. They are now, all of those guys that were here in 2018 have a chance, as we're going to have a foul here, they have a chance to get in the game, and they have a chance to do something really special. This is a really good Maryland team. It's a really talented Maryland team, and if they can put the pieces together in the coming weeks, they have a real shot to find themselves in Santa Barbara.
And a little fun fact for the folks at home, last time the College Cup was in Santa Barbara, that net that you see in the far corner of your shot right here came home to Ludwig Field. There's a great ball in from Ngofu.
Still up in the air. Now it falls for a second. Is Maryland going to be able to get a 4th out of it? It's still loose, and Delaware might be able to clear it. And now they will for a second, but it took a deflection, and now Ngofu has it again. Ngofu puts this on, but Vic is there to grab it. As we are under 7 minutes to go tonight in College Park. Delaware trying to feel good about something. If they're able to scratch across one, I think that would be a really uplifting moment for them. Terps in the first half just cruised their way to a 3-0 lead, and that's where we stand.
And that allowed Sasha Sorowski to make a plethora of substitutions. Everybody on the pitch, brand new from that starting 11, outside the goalkeeper and Chris Rindove, and have 5 freshmen on the field as well. Sasha Sorowski able to get some young players some decent experience. Actually, I believe 6 players who are freshmen now with Dalton Haas in the field, the redshirt freshman. So very young 11 out there for Maryland right now.
A lot of unfamiliar names out there. Here's a shot. This will be kicked out of bounds. Or will it? Yes, it will. So looking ahead, this is how it sets up for Maryland on Sunday. If they go to Bloomington and they beat a really good Indiana team, they will be the Big Ten champions in 2022. How do they win in Bloomington on Sunday, Josh?
Well, I think when you look at these last 2 performances, it's all going to come down to keeping a clean sheet. The Terps have proven that when they keep clean sheets, that they are on it defensively not only, but also from a pressing standpoint. You have your wingers coming to come for your cover for your fullbacks. You have your center backs communicating well. You have all of your guys just connected as a unit, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing that Sasha Sorowski takes. He'll say, if we're connected as a unit, we're not going to allow any goals, and that goal will come because of our connection. So I think that's the biggest thing he'll take to Bloomington, and Bloomington is never an easy place to play. The Hoosiers and Todd Yeagley always have a fantastic squad, and it's always a classic in the Big Ten regular season.
Maryland, Indiana, without a doubt, the 2, I guess, premier programs in the Big Ten, but it was Penn State who won the Big Ten regular season last year, and that proved to be pretty big.
Yeah, and I think the Nittany Lions slowly entering themselves in that conversation as an elite program in the Big Ten. It's those 3 and everybody else, it seems like nowadays, and you know, each of those three programs trying to prove themselves something. Indiana has had an up and down regular season. They'll try to prove that they can do it in the postseason. As here's a chance.
Here's a chance, and Delaware finds the back of the net with just under 5 minutes to go. The Blue Hens find themselves on the scoreboard, and they got to feel good about that, scratching one across against the Terps.
And it's the man with probably the coolest name on the pitch. Ori Thorarlson just has this ball find his feet and just slots it past Jamie Lowell, who might have been a little unsighted from Kento Abe. And you see Brian St. Martin holding his head, knowing he should have got that clearance better. And Sasha Surovsky, and I'm sure all the players on the pitch will be a little bit disappointed that they couldn't keep the clean sheet. Very unlikely that it'll have an impact on the result here tonight, but a clean sheet would have been nice for these Terps.
So Delaware makes it a 3-1 game with under 5 minutes to go, and even though it wasn't a game winner, it was still another late goal between Delaware and Maryland.
Yeah, 86th minute this time. It's not double overtime. It's not single overtime. It's not the 89th minute that we've seen in our last three matchups, but the goal nonetheless from Ori Thorarlson, the 6'3" midfielder. He's really been good on the ball today. When the Blue Hens have been able to get the ball, he's been quality, and you see him playing higher up the pitch now, just as like a target man, false nine almost.
Thorarlson, one of several players on the Delaware team that hail from Iceland. As Maryland works to get that back, but it's a free kick coming. Back to our conversation a minute ago, there are three teams that can still mathematically win the Big Ten regular season title: Maryland, Indiana, and Ohio State. Ohio State, by virtue of their win tonight against Michigan State, stayed alive. They play Wisconsin this weekend.
I think the thing that Sasha Surovsky will be most pleased about, though, going into Sunday is that he has his team in control of the title. Right. All of the other teams need Maryland to lose or tie in order to win the Big Ten title, but his team just needs to go to Bloomington and win, as we see some blistering pace from Isaac Ngofu here.
Here's Ngofu trying to get that goal right back for Maryland. It's into the box. It's down. It's a shot. It's blocked. As we're under 3 to go. Abe to the outside. And out of bounds.
The entire Maryland bench standing up when that ball was laid back by Riley to Kim. They want to see their man Kimmy get his goal, and a goal that he would deserve. He has put so much into the college soccer game, as we mentioned before, the JUCO Player of the Year 2 years ago. You can tell the entire bench standing up now just wants to see one of these guys get a goal.
7th corner of the night coming for Maryland. It's whipped in. It's a decent ball, but it finds the turf. Ngofu's there. Tries to make a move, and he does. Nicely puts it in. There's somebody there, and it is in! It's the freshman Mac DeVries, the 4th goal of the night for Maryland for number 4.
And that's all from Isaac Ngofu on this near side. The Maryland bench below us jumping up and screaming and spraying their water bottles everywhere as the freshman Mac DeVries gets a goal. And again, it was all Ngofu. There's the bench. You see Niklas Neumann there jumping up and down, screaming. All the boys are clapping. Mac DeVries couldn't have asked for a better way to start his college soccer account. And there's the work from Ngofu, and just a brilliant ball played across. And there's Mac DeVries saying, thank you very much. DeVries' father playing at Penn State. DeVries converting to the dark side, as his father would probably put it. DeVries scoring for the Terrapins at Ludwig Field.
So that will erase the goal Delaware had, but now they have a chance for another one. It's still loose in the box. Terps trying to clear it. And they will. So Mac DeVries, the freshman from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, first collegiate goal, and that will all but ice it. It's going to be the 9th win of the season for Maryland, and it sets up a massive showdown on Sunday afternoon.
And there's the confirmation. First career goal for Mac DeVries. That must feel fantastic for the freshman tonight, as we have the Blue Hens corner coming up after some decent defending from Ngofu.
1 minute left in the match.
1 minute left. 5th corner of the night for Delaware. It's been a dominating performance tonight for Maryland. And they have a lot of confidence. They should have a lot of confidence heading into Sunday's finale in the Big Ten tournament.
I think now they've shown they can get it done in a number of ways. They can beat you 1-0 as theirs. Blue Hens' chance that goes very far wide of Jamie Lowell's net. But now they've shown you their last 2 games they can beat you both ways. They can outscore you and beat you 4-1 and put goals on the board, or they can hold you to a 1-0 win. They can win in numerous ways, and I think that's one thing that will please Sasha Ostrowski. He knows wherever the game is going, whichever way it's headed, he knows his team can win it.
So Maryland, 9 wins on the year. They finished the home slate at Ludwig with 2 losses, and that will do it. Maryland 4, Delaware 1. And now all eyes head to Bloomington, Indiana, where the Big Ten will be decided on Sunday. That's Mac DeVries' first career goal, and the bench loving it for number 4, the freshman. A 4-1 Maryland win. Josh, your final thoughts?